There is a strange law in life. The more you chase, the faster things run. The more you explain, the less they listen. The more you beg, the more invisible you become. You think you're showing love, but the world reads it as weakness. Everything that's meant to stay, stays without force. Everything that must go, leaves no matter how hard you hold. So what do? You stop. You breathe. You let silence speak for you. Because silence terrifies those who feed on your energy, and peace disarms those who once had power over you. There is a quiet dignity in restraint, a rare strength in not needing to be understood. Most people are addicted to motion, chasing, explaining, proving. But the Stoic mind knows stillness is the highest form of control. So the question is not how to win them back, it's how to stop needing to. Can you stand still when everything in you wants to move? Can you trust that what's truly yours will never need to be chased? You've been taught that love must be proven, that loyalty means effort, that silence is weakness. So you explain yourself again and again, to be understood, to be forgiven, to be seen. You chase people who barely look back. You lower your voice, your worth, your boundaries, just to be accepted. But here's the truth. The more you chase, the more they pull away. The more you justify, the less they hear you. Because need creates imbalance, and imbalance destroys respect. Deep down, you know this. You feel it in the exhaustion that follows every unanswered message, every ignored attempt to make things right. You feel it in the pit of your stomach when you explain something that should not need explaining. You keep trying to convince people to care when their silence has already spoken. The world has conditioned you to confuse desperation with devotion, to believe that if you try harder, they'll stay. But the truth is simpler and harsher. When you beg, you betray yourself. When you over-explain, you abandon your own dignity. You don't lose people when you stop chasing. You lose illusions. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Let others do what they will. You remain at your post, true to your own nature." The Stoics understood something that modern psychology is only now rediscovering. That control begins where attachment ends. The moment you stop clinging, the world stops holding power over you. You think your peace depends on their response, their validation, their presence. But the Stoic mind knows peace is found only in the command of your own emotions. Picture this: a storm raging across the sea. Waves crash, winds scream, yet deep beneath the water remains unmoved. That is you when you stop chasing. In modern terms, this is emotional regulation, the art of not reacting to every trigger, not giving meaning to every silence. It is the discipline of restraint, of letting the external world move while you remain still inside. You are not cold for withdrawing, you are wise for protecting your energy. Because those who cannot control their need to be seen will always be controlled by those who ignore them. Stillness is not passivity. It is mastery. It is choosing power over noise. 1. Detach. Freedom begins where attachment ends. You've tied your peace to outcomes, to their reply, to their approval, to their return. But nothing external was ever yours to control. When you detach, you don't stop caring. You stop clinging. You allow life to unfold without resistance. You stop begging for attention that's already drifting away, and instead, you reclaim the energy you've been leaking. Detachment is not indifference. It's self-respect in motion, the calm refusal to trade your dignity for temporary comfort. So the next time silence comes, don't fill it. Let it echo. Let it test the strength of your stillness. Because when you no longer chase, life begins to chase you. 2. Observe. Do not react. Observe. You are not your emotions. You are the one watching them rise and fall. When anger burns, don't speak. When fear whispers, don't move. Watch. Let the wave crash, then disappear. This is what Epictetus meant by mastery, the ability to choose your response instead of being enslaved by impulse. Observation turns pain into wisdom. It slows the chaos of the mind until truth becomes visible. You will start to see most of what you took personally had nothing to do with you. In stillness, clarity emerges. The wise man doesn't react first, he sees first. 3. Endure. You will be misunderstood. You will be blamed for walking away. You will be painted as cold for choosing silence. Endure it. The Stoics called it apatheia, the serenity that comes from inner sovereignty. It means to stay unmoved by what you cannot control. Let the noise test you. Let loneliness refine you. In the absence of approval, you will meet the man within, the one who no longer needs the world to validate his worth. Endurance is the bridge between pain and peace. Walk it without complaint. For every silence you survive adds another stone to your fortress. Restrain. Not every truth must be spoken. Not every emotion must be shared. Restraint is power in its purest form. The weak spill their hearts to everyone, seeking comfort and exposure. The strong remain composed, revealing only what serves peace. Before you explain yourself, ask, what am I trying to prove? If the answer is worth, stop. Worth doesn't argue. It stands. Restraint creates mystery, and mystery commands respect, because nothing unsettles the world more than a man who doesn't need to be understood. Hold your truth in silence. Let your discipline speak louder than your defense. 5. Return. Always return to yourself. After the storm of emotion, after the noise of ego, after the silence of withdrawal, come back home. Sit in solitude. Breathe. Feel the weight leaving your chest. This is where you remember who you are without the opinions, without the chase, without the noise. The Stoics called it the inner citadel, the place within you that no rejection can touch. Return there often, because peace is not found in being chosen. It is found in choosing yourself, again and again, until the world's noise fades into distance. And when you stand alone in that silence, you will realize you never lost anything worth keeping. Now the fire fades, the storm quiets. The noise that once ruled your mind dissolves into distance. You've stopped chasing. You've stopped begging. You've stopped explaining yourself to people who never truly listened. And what remains is peace. Not the fragile peace of approval, but the steady calm of inner command. You walk differently now. You speak less. You breathe with purpose. The world may still misunderstand your silence, but it no longer matters, because the war was never out there. It was within. And now the battlefield has gone still. There is no applause here, no validation, only the quiet satisfaction of alignment between who you are and how you move. This is the reward of restraint, the serenity that comes after the storm of emotion. The light breaking over the sea, the calm after years of noise. You do not need to prove peace. You are peace. And in that stillness, you finally realize the ones who never saw your value were never meant to. There comes a moment when you no longer explain, no longer chase, no longer beg, not because you've given up, but because you've awakened. You see now that peace is not something the world can give you. It's something you guard, like a sacred flame in a storm. So remember this. You owe no one your energy. You owe no one your validation. You owe no one your peace. Guard it like a fortress. Let silence be your sword. Let restraint be your armor. When they question your distance, remain still. When they demand your explanation, offer none. Because true power does not announce itself. It simply is. You've done the hardest thing a human can do. You've learned to be enough without being seen. Carry that with you. Walk through the world with quiet strength, unmoved, unbothered, unbroken. And when you forget, return to stillness. It will remind you who you are. You owe no one your peace. Guard it like a fortress. Subscribe to Timeless Stoic Mind and keep building the fortress within.